Have you ever wanted to automate the process of generating your very own ebooks? Or maybe you're looking for the ideal workflow that will enable you to efficiently take all your writings along with any images and convert it to a valid ebook. And if you're thinking that this is probably something complicated to do, then you might want to think again. Thanks to BuildShip, generating ebooks has never been easier, but it's always easy to talk. So let's prove it. Here we have a BuildShip workflow, and this workflow is using BuildShip's Generate EPUB node. This node allows you to quickly generate fully customizable ebooks. Now all we need to do is execute our workflow to generate our ebook. To do that, we'll be using BuildShip's built-in testing feature. At the top, we'll select Test, and we'll test the workflow. With testing, each of the node in our workflow has been executed, and the final output we get is the download URL of our newly generated ebook. Let's copy this URL. We'll open it in a new tab and we'll download it. We'll just save it to the desktop for now. And we can open this up in our ebook reader. Beautiful. When we open the book for the first time, we're temporarily shown a cover image. As we're scrolling through the different pages of the book, we can see that it even contains the illustrations that we specified in the content of the chapters. Now let's see how you can build this very same workflow and even customize it in just 3 steps. We'll be using BuildShip to build our Ebook Generator API in low-code style. If you're looking to build a backend for your front-end app, then BuildShip is the perfect choice. BuildShip is a powerful low-code tool that allows you to build powerful APIs and any sort of backend logic in low-code style while being able to harness the power of AI. It comes packed with tons of integrations with popular third-party services. And in this video, we'll see how BuildShip makes it incredibly easy for us to generate ebooks. We'll build, ship, and test in an instant. Let's get started. BuildShip offers a number of templates to help you quickly get started building your own project. Simply find a template that aligns with your use case and requirements, clone it, and customize. As our first step, we'll clone the EPUB generator template. This will spin up a fully completed workflow for us, included with some sample inputs. And if we want, we can ship immediately and start testing this workflow. But we're not going to do that yet because we want to step through each node in this workflow so that you understand exactly what is happening and how you can go about customizing this workflow. Since we're building an API, we're using BuildShip's REST API called Trigger. A trigger in BuildShip is responsible for triggering the execution of our workflow. So given an event, we want to trigger our workflow. In this case, the event will be a HTTP request to this endpoint that we're specifying here. The path is set to generate EPUB, and we're setting the HTTP method to get. Keep in mind that BuildShip offers other triggers as well. If we temporarily delete this and go to add trigger, we'll see a list of all the supported triggers. There's triggers for uploading files, for scheduling tasks, for handling Stripe events, and much more. Let's add back our REST API called Trigger. We'll just add it back. And just like that, we've arrived at the crux of our workflow. That is, of course, the node responsible for generating our ebook. Ebooks use the EPUB file format, and this file format follows a specific structure. We need to provide a title, author, publisher, optional book cover image, and we can even provide our own set of styles if we want to customize the appearance of our ebook. The important bit here is the chapter section. Let's leave this for last, and what we want to do next is customize the sample input that this node is currently using. Let's change the title to My First Book. We can change the author to John Smith, and let's change the publisher to BuildShip. Our book is currently using this cover image, but let's change it so that it uses this Winnie the Pooh one. We'll copy the public URL of this image and we'll replace this one. For this demo, we're not going to be customizing the styles, but if you wanted to, you could easily do that here. This is where you can specify the CSS styles that you want to apply to your ebook. In this case, we just have it default to setting the font family to Arial. Okay, so far so good. But now the main part of this node is the chapter section. Let's take a look at the chapters of this book. We'll expand this, and currently it has some sample input already populated. We're specifying the chapters of the book in an array. Now your ebook might contain 1 or multiple chapters. For the sample input being used here, this book will contain 3 chapters. The title of the first chapter is about the author. The data field contains the actual content of the chapter. This can be a simple text, or for even more customization, you can use HTML. And if you're using HTML, you can even embed images in the content of your chapters. For instance, here, for the last chapter, we're embedding an image in the content. In BuildShip, every node comes with documentation to help guide you how to best use the node. To do that, we can bring up the info panel here, and you can see that for chapters, we have some sample input. Let's copy this. We'll go back to chapters, and we'll replace all of this with what we just copied. So now our book will only have one chapter. The title will be chapter 1. And instead of using HTML for the content of the chapter this time, we're just using plain old text, hello world. But don't worry, because we'll come back later and show you how you can use HTML for the content and how you can embed any image of your choice. Our generate EPUB node, at the completion of generating our ebook, will store that ebook in the BuildShip storage associated with our project. After that, all we need to do is generate a public download URL for that ebook. And to do that, we're using the generate public download URL node. This node takes the file path where the ebook was saved. We can access this file path from the generate EPUB node. If we look at the output of this node, we can see that it returns the generated EPUB file. And the final node in this workflow is to return the download URL of our ebook. We get this from our generate public download URL node. And that's all there is to setting up a workflow using BuildShip for generating ebooks. Well, we're finished with the building part. Now step 2 is to ship our workflow. And our workflow has been shipped successfully. Now on to step 3, the fun part, where we put all of this to the test. And guess what? We don't even have to leave BuildShip for testing our workflow, because we can use BuildShip's built-in testing feature to do this. To begin, let's select test at the top. And for now, our API doesn't expect any query parameters, our body payload, so we can just test our workflow immediately. And this will step through and execute each node in our workflow. And we expect the final output to be the download URL of our newly generated ebook. So now all we have to do is copy this download URL, open it in a new tab. We'll download our new ebook. And now let's open it in our ebook reader. And as you can see, it works. At first, we're temporarily shown our cover image, which we've set to the Winnie the Pooh image. And our book only contains one chapter, where the title is set to chapter 1 and the content is set to Hello World. Now, as an added bonus, let's customize our chapter to instead render out the content in HTML. And let's also see how we can display an image in our chapter. To begin, we'll wrap the Hello World text in some paragraph tags. And before that, we'll add a pair of new paragraph tags. And then in this paragraph tag is where we'll paste our image. Let's paste an image. We need to use single quotes instead of double quotes. And then for the image we're displaying here, it's a Winnie the Pooh image. We can preview that. And we're now ready to test our workflow, so let's do that. Okay, great. So we get back a new download URL for our ebook. We'll just download this and now let's open it. And this time around, you can see that we're now displaying an image in our chapter. And at the bottom, we can see the text of our chapter, Hello World. And that's how you can use a BuildShip powered workflow for generating your own ebooks. If you've enjoyed this or if you have any feedback, then please let us know by dropping a comment. And while you're still here, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you can stay up to date with all the cool templates and demos we're releasing. But that's all for now. Until next time, happy BuildShipping!